the recording.
I will watch the
Thank you.
recording.
Thank you, Emily.
Okay, bye.
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 So, if I got everything well, we have some new contribution on the small variable LLM project by Jan. And the topic of the meeting was talking about this pull request.
Yes, new PR. Yes, I made this for two reasons. First one, Antoine, I and another guy, we worked on a presentation on Riviera Dev, doing quite the same things. And we see that for Quarkus, we have some troubles with a mechanism, which is removing bins which are not used. So you must put a normal variable or something else on it to prevent to be deleted in the build during the build step. As you may understand, I think we are not able to use the unknown variable on our bins because we are in a CDI build compatible extension context. So I had to find a solution to prevent that. And in the new version of the extension, I made a mechanism which is, in fact, listing all the tools that are used into the register AI service annotation. And in the enhancement phase, I'm putting a name on it to prevent to be deleted by Quarkus. This is the first point. And the second thing I added into my pull request was a suggestion from Antonio Goncalves, which said, oh, it could be cool if everything could be, in fact, configurable, like in other part of Longchain4j. That means, building the chat model and the content driver and so on, using only some configuration from MicroProfile config. So that I try to do it. It seems to work. At least there is a two or three minor problems, but globally, in the PR I pushed, we are able now to have a very clean code on the developer perspective. I don't know if do you want you to let me to present the code?
Yeah, perhaps it would be nice. I'm putting the link to the PR in the minutes. Let me
I will share my screen, desktop one or IntelliJ. No, IntelliJ is
the
better.
pull request 8. Let me share in the minutes if you want to go to the PR by itself. Sorry, I'm confusing with Teams and Zoom. Okay, that's it. I'm putting the same link in the minutes in the Google Doc. Okay, it's not this one.
Make sure I understand. But basically, you are loading the implementation based on the MicroProfile config.
Yes.
And
I will.
And same thing. Okay.
In fact, I added also in example. I added two things. We have example with evident, but also I added the example working, with Quarkus, just to be sure. This is our two main subject, in fact, because evident is weld and Open Liberty is weld also, no?
So perhaps we could in the future add a test against Open Liberty, so to have something more, how to say,
Yes.
classical, a more classical approach of MicroProfile.
So we keep, in fact, always, the same interface for the code also after, but I've added, for example, the chat language model name. It's more, to select the chat model by name, and also the same things for the content retriever. This is the two things I added inside this. Where I start, for example, in the small array LLM build compatible extension, please don't care to the name. We can refactor it. We are currently more in exploration. In this part, in the low priority, in fact, yes, I detect the AI service, and I add all the tools we refer to. Why I do that? Because if we go to the example, for example, in Quarkus, You have your chat AI service. Okay, fine. Where are my tools? Yes, here. And we use the booking service. If we do nothing, as booking is not injected somewhere else in the code, Quarkus is removing it, and it will not work anymore. So to prevent that, in the extension, after the first announcement, we have a second one in priority, little more upper. When I take all the detected tools I listed just before, and if there is no any annotation named on it, I'm just adding a name by default, just to protect him from Quarkus cleaning. This is the first part. The second part I added, it's more on the plugin extension. This mechanism, you will not like it, I think, but is using reflection. So I consider to have, a prefix, small I LLM plugin.
So
A
you
name,
start with the configuration with the MicroProfile configuration file.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I can show you in the example. It's more parlant. I don't know how to say that in English.
Yeah, it could be nice. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. But it could be nice if you could show the programming, how to say, the programming model that it creates regarding the configuration, how you use the stuff.
Oh,
Is it possible, or do you have something to show about it?
so I switch in French. Je sais pas. Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je montre? C'est surtout l'Azure Open Chat model.
How user will use the extension
Oh,
when you
okay. I'm going it. So let's take the Quarkus example. People just like at the beginning of the project declare an interface. Okay, register a service with your tools and so on. And that's it. If you want to have more things, you can. How can I say that? If you want to add more parts from LangChain 4G, LangChain 4G is using always the same principle for all its bin. Let's show, for example, the Azure, because I have it, open a chat model. I saw that in their code, they always use the same principle, which is
have the builder and internal
yes,
builder as a class. That's it. Yeah.
they have a builder. And attends, I'm going too fast, perhaps. Yes.
Yeah. A bit
They
too
have a
fast for me.
builder, they call build also, and in the builder you have methods to add, in fact, your properties. It's always the same things on the all the object of LangChain 4G. So that's why I had the idea to let's take application properties to use the properties to do that. So I just put it something like a prefix, a name for your bin, the class you want to build, and the mechanism, the extension will get the class. Look inside it to have a static builder. Create a new implementation of a builder, and then you can use you can put config on all your keys you want, in fact, to insert into it. And this is very funny because, in fact, MicroProfile is helping us, MicroProfile config, with its mechanism, because as we can get the method, we have the target object to generate. For example, duration, integer, and string, whatever. And MicroProfile config is able, to handle that for you very easily. The only difference is when you have, for example, I take the doc driver, so I change the original code, I removed the class to only put it into properties. So my doc driver, it's an embedding store content retriever, and I have two things to inject into it: an embedding store and an embedding model. So I have some special values inside. I prefix with lookup. Lookup is doing a CDI select and get of the instance. And after you put the name of a bin or default. Default, we will take, in fact, a bin which is not named at all. If you do something else, for example, you put my model, it will look for an embedding model of the type needed with a name, my model. Emmanuel, I know that you provide a content retriever producer, for example. So normally it was for removing the docrag retriever, if I can remember. So we can do the same things without writing any code. One of the things to have, in our example, for the user side perspective, I kept into the docrag ingestor the two produces here. But I have to put in removable in the Quarkus context, which is not a real concern in this case because we are typically in Quarkus code, dedicated code. If we look into Edidon, we don't have to do that. Simple produces. The only concern I have, and I have to see that with, for example, Antoine, is that I'm not able to use the parameterized type to select a bin from CDI. And Antoine, if you have a solution, I can have.
Yeah, I think we can. I'm not sure, but we can go all the way around. So you can imagine having a kind of solution that make the inventory of all the bin in your deployment, and you can look at the bin from their type with the type, since you can not build a lookup with the parameterized type, since you want to create the type literal with an unknown type at build. So you need something else. So we have to think about it. But
Yes.
perhaps there are solutions, another way to see the stuff, but something cleaner, I guess. I hope.
At the beginning, normally it should be with code on the user side. You declare an embedding store with your erasure. You do your instance, and it should work. But in our case, because of some limitation of the API, I have to put directly this because I'm not able to select a bin with the right type. This is the only limitation I have as of now.
Yeah, so you can imagine having something specific or having using a qualifier or whatever. Perhaps there's multiple solutions to make something cleaner. Not sure,
Yeah.
but have to check that.
So you mean you can just use the embedding store, but you have or embedding model, I don't know which one it is, but you have to use the in-memory one. You can't use the interface.
I don't sorry.
On the code
I don't get it.
on the code before when you were producing.
Yeah, the producer. Can you get
Yeah,
that?
Is that a implementation class, right? You don't produce.
Yes. No. It's only because if I'm doing that, embedding store, yes, with text segment.
To have the,
and if you don't, you put a question mark. And
If
you
I'm
don't type
doing that, in fact, on the how can I say that? If we take a look to the LLM plugin
you want
tracker,
to use
the
the
part.
dynamic lookup. You want to use the dynamic lookup of CDI, that's it, and it's not possible because you have the information in the configuration, so it's text you have to use to build the type you want to select in the instance.
It's
that's
more,
it.
sorry, but it's more a limitation of CDI specifications. Because when you do a select, you can select by orientation, you can select by class, select by type literal, but not by type, a standard type, which is a mess because not a mess, sorry, which is a pity because type literal, when you go into the implementation of Weld, your select with type literal, inside it is doing type literal dot get type. So I just need to have get type to have something clean, to have a select by type. If we can have that, it would be okay.
Yeah, but I think we can do a
contournement
way because okay, you put in your configuration the parameterized. Sorry, it's very difficult to pronounce. Parameterized type as text, but somewhere the type is defined because you're producing something.
Yes.
So you can have a kind of inventory of all the beans existing and their types, and have a matching of, okay, I'm looking for the bean with this type, and I do the resolution in another way. But we have to discuss that. It's not the place to discuss that here,
Yes,
but
yes,
we
yes.
can have something like that.
For me, yes.
Yeah, just one question, because you are going to do a lookup by whatever. Why don't you use I don't know as a qualifier here, so that you can
Yeah, that could be. That could be
like
the other solution.
Yeah, because this is what I'm doing. But basically, what I do is that I type, I qualify with small y identifier qualifier. So I can identify by string somehow, and so and then I can inject them, and selection also is easy for me. So in that case, you would use in your property file, you would set the name by which you want to qualify it at the ID. And so you can select by type plus ID plus name, and you should be able to inject.
Yes, we can find something like that, yes.
Yeah, qualifier can be another solution. There are many solutions to solve that. So we'll find something, Jan. Don't worry.
I'm just thinking.
Don't worry. Yeah, it's just that.
Are we able to do an object class with a qualifier, the specific qualifier?
Yeah. You can
Yes.
you can do that.
But in performance aspect, it's good.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay. So okay,
Qualifier is a type, but we can discuss that afterward. Qualifier is one of the solutions we can use it. Sorry.
So now my question is, okay, are you agree with first the fix I did for Quarkus protection by putting some name inside it to prevent him to remove? And second one, are you agree with my proposition to Antonio proposition to use configuration over code?
I think it can be nice to have it. It can be nice to have it in both ways. So to use it in configuration file, and having it in your in the configuration in your code if you want as well. But having the file is nice, I think, because it's a way
you can always let the developer decide to do his own decision on the code side. It's not a problem, and you can for them.
You'll have I think you'll have a configuration stuff to put in your application. If you want to connect to Azure or stuff like that, you need your keys and stuff like that. So having the information in the same place could be nice for the user. From my point of view.
And Antonio was, of what I know, there is 57 LLM into Langchain4j, something like that, no? 57 chat model, 57 things. And this way will allow us to do a lot of less code and code to maintain. That's why we try to, it's an experimentation, but with that, we open the possibility to all the implementation we have in Langchain4j. And we can concentrate on Cheta service and other things because I think we have some work again to do to raise the level of the Quarkus extension.
I was wondering about using factory instead of all that, and using service loader to load factory that would be specific to your. So because somehow you have defined a prefix, which is a prefix that you already have plus, I don't know, it's OpenAI dot I don't know, chat model name, and then you could you have so you have chat model name, so let's say you have a factory that will say I know I'm going to use Morai, and I'm the factory for a chat model for Dummy. So I know that all the configuration stuff that I'm interested in is Morai LLM plugin chat model Dummy, .config or whatever. And then the factory is in charge with avoiding the reflection part. See what I mean? Thus you have
You want to do a factory per
yes.
per implementation, so you want to do 57 factories.
Well, if you don't support all of them, yeah.
For me, yes, it's a lot of code to do and to maintain.
I think we can perhaps try to find something more clever. But there is another question to make sure that everybody agrees on that or not. So Jan, you started your work with the new build-time compatible extension feature of CDI 4, and not the classical portable extension. The reason for that is the support of Quarkus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. Because I think that every other MicroProfile implementation are supporting portable extension today. Perhaps I'm missing some of them.
Yes, yes. But the main goal was effectively to do something for everybody.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the Quarkus is a big actor, no? So I would say the advantage of our build compatible extension is that we do not get code and other rewrite code from LangChain 4G into our extension, which Quarkus is actually forced to do because of
Eventually.
the reason and so on. And to be honest, will it be sustainable for Quarkus team to manage the evolution of LangChain 4G each time they change something to follow it? It's a question on my side. So that's the reason why I think that the build compatible extension is the best approach for me.
Just about the fact that you said that I would have supported 75 factories.
Yeah.
I could still use your factory as a fallback. So I mean, it's not exclusive, right? I didn't mean to. Let's say I want to have something. For example, I'm not sure I'm going to support the 25 LLM in my case. So let's say I just want to support 5 or 600. Then I could go for something more specific and more less. I mean, which I have more control over.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
but the fact that it's a factory with a service loader makes it pluggable. I mean, that was the idea, and still without breaking your what you did. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I don't know what to say.
Not sure to get it, Manuel.
Well, let's say okay. Okay, in my case, I won't be able to use, for example, MicroProfile config to configure my services. I'd rather go with something that is more specific to my configuration model. So that means that all this is unusable. I would have to rewrite it to match my own model. Having something that is pluggable makes it makes it usable from my point of view. As otherwise, I mean, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in the middle. Well,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure to get it, Emmanuel. The sound is very, very fuzzy.
Well,
well, let me if I can. Okay. I can't. I won't use MicroProfile config to configure my own. Let's say my own extension and my own builders because I use Wi-Fi internal management model to define its configuration. So for example, so that makes this not pluggable into my own code.
So what you are saying is that from the Wi-Fi perspective, having the configuration in a MicroProfile config format is not suitable. That's what I get.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm not well, Wi-Fi is not MicroProfile only, so we might have several applications using several models in parallel. So the configuration is centralized into Wi-Fi itself and not into something per
So what
application.
we can imagine is having a kind of abstraction above the configuration to be able to plug to MicroProfile config or whatever config we need here. Something like that. Would it be good for you?
Yeah, I mean,
And perhaps, Emmanuel, there are already MicroProfile solution used in the Wi-Fi that have the same problem. Perhaps we can fix this issue in the same way.
Yes, I know I got it. Okay, sorry, Emmanuel. I wasn't understanding. And yes, I apologize because my target was only Quarkus, Elidonton, and MicroProfile. Okay.
I have currently a solution for Wi-Fi, which
Yeah.
basically is almost the same as in well, at least I don't have the like I said, I have the qualifier solution that is working for me, and
And do you do reflection to do some dynamic instantiation and so on?
only for the in-memory embedding model, but otherwise no, I don't do reflection. That's a point of that's something I'm not very sure because well the issue I have currently is either to define something that is global at least per type, to have a single configuration with a map of properties, a bit like what you have. I mean, for let's say all for the chat language model, one for, and then do reflection or whatever solution that you want to have to create the model or the instance. Currently, this is where I am. So currently, I have two implementation. I have I mean I have two LLM supported for chat model, two LLM supported for embedding model, two embedding store supported, etc. etc. And I'm wondering if I should
guys, we
Yeah.
reached the end of the meeting. What I suggest is, I think we have all insight for the PR that Jan made. Perhaps we can continue the discussion in the PR, having some. As you can see, the PR is in draft mode right now, so it's not manageable. And the discussion is open, so it would be nice to have your input to make it as best as possible. So if you have a
Just to
specific
finish,
stuff, I think it's the
Emmanuel,
right
do we
place
think?
to.
Do you think, Emmanuel, that we could add, like I did for
The Wi-Fi.
video, yes, a Wi-Fi
Yeah.
part, yeah, to take in account, yes, the pure Jakarta and to let us continue to make it work for everybody, or using MicroProfile config in my case, or using other things in your case. Should be nice.
I have some code that is available. It's currently on the branch on my GitHub, but it's with I mean
Yeah,
I
because
can
because there might be the same issue with other Jakarta EE
Yeah.
server having their specific configuration feature. So we need to have an abstraction above the configuration, I guess, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's discuss that next week if you agree with that.
Yes, or we can advance on the PR discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very testing.
I can. I don't know. Do you want me to show you the GitHub repo if you want to take a look?
Well,
Or do you want?
yes. Do we want to go into other meetings for doing that and or not? On Teams or something like that, I don't know.
We'll
Antoine?
continue here, but
Yes. Or continue here, but
my problem is that
talk of
I
the
have
people.
another meeting right now, so I won't be able to join you if you continue.
Okay. Emmanuel, go just to
Emmanuel, do you want us to set up a meeting during the week?
Yes. Maybe not Team, but because I'm not sure you have Team.
what you want.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, we can do that. I can show you my own extensions.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Antoine,
Okay.
do you have my email?
I think I have it. Let me check. Or you can send me by Twitter or whatever. Okay. I will contact you.
No problem.
Thank you, guys. Have a
Okay.
nice week.
See you.
Yeah. See you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.